That was a big win for United against Crystal Palace. Our first at Selhurst Park in 5 years, but none of us felt it was coming at half-time. Let's talk about that second half turnaround, the changes that helped, Zirkzee, Mount, Shaw, the return of Martinez, and Amorim's reaction to a much-needed win for United. Isn't everything just a little bit nicer after United win at the weekend? Let's run through what we learned watching that Crystal Palace game, but United games are going to come thick and fast now. We've got West Ham on Thursday, we've got Wolves on Monday. We've only been playing once a week, but December, it's going to start getting busier. And that game against Crystal Palace showed all the good things about United and all the bad things about United. Kind of like watching United every single game these days. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. But first things first, you might be bored of hearing this word, but physicality really is bloody everything for this Manchester United team and just kind of everybody in the Premier League. That first half, United very much continued what we did against Everton. And it was an atrocious level of intensity. And without that, nothing else can be built on top of it. Like, it is just a if you don't have it, it doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't matter what your team is or this or that. You're not going to win the game of football in the Premier League. End of story. All right? Ruben was asked that. I'll be honest, I don't know who I'm concerned with at this point. Really, I'm not. Is this the players? Is this coming down to It feels like it's the players. It feels like it might be a bit of Amorim's instructions. It feels like both are contributing to it. But everything that was wrong with that first half, United got better in the second half. And that's what you need to focus on really from that game, because it was a very good second half performance. Now, Ruben Amorim was asked after the game, what actually did you change at halftime? He was like, not really. Just trying to get everybody to understand the game a little bit more. We tried to change the little things, the intensity, and the quality in the way we connected, especially with Zirkzee. And then speaking a bit more here about whether or not he asked Mbeumo and Zirkzee to play closer together, because they obviously switched their positions. They certainly did. And Mbeumo ended up being deeper a lot. And it worked. He was like, not really. I told them to be more alive, a.k.a. that's what intensity is. Like, just fucking move. Sprint. Stop walking. Stop passing it at 1 mile an hour. Pass it faster. Move faster. Be better to the second balls. It's boring to keep repeating it. But until you have every game, I'm going to mention it every game where it doesn't exist. Now, the first half, awful. Second half, a really good turnaround. And a big part of that, and you have to credit this, United from set pieces this season, something has shifted. Whether it's Carlos Fernandes and whether it's something that's been worked on the training ground, United are a real threat from set pieces. Now, I've taken the piss out of Arsenal for sort of being heavily reliant on set pieces. It feels like that's what United are right now. We're not good enough from open play, but we have the threat from set pieces. The best teams will continue having that threat from set pieces and combine that with real threat from open play. Then you're scoring goals in an abundance. But that second one, the first one was a really smart ball from Bruno. Caught them off guard. The finish was from Zirkzee was just outrageous. Like, you could have that shot 100 times, you probably wouldn't score that again. It was a great finish. But the second one was just really smart play. And clearly something that United worked on the training ground. Dean Henderson set up his wall. So, I know, let me just kick the ball. 5 yards, says Bruno. Completely changed. Look at the position of the wall there when it's completely set up to how the wall is there when Mount hits the ball. The wall doesn't exist anymore. Kicking that ball 5 yards completely takes the wall out of the equation. Strike it under the wall. Dean Henderson can't reach it. It was a really smart set piece. Both of them, in fact. And those two made the difference in a game where Manchester United did not have enough quality in open play. Now it's about matching that. I don't really know why United are so lackluster. Of course I do. Who am I kidding? Like Cunha and Šeško, 2 of our 3 attacking signings in the summer, are not currently in the team. And all of a sudden our attacking output has gone down. Obviously not a coincidence. But credit to Carlos Fernandes, credit to Manchester United. We are significantly better from set pieces this season. And it's making a difference in games, sometimes, where we can't break them down through open play because we're not good enough there yet. But if I'm crediting the set pieces, of course I'm crediting Zirkzee. And he deserves to be credited after that. Second half. Like, Amorim sort of singled him out saying, look, Zirkzee played better in that attacking role and everybody else played better as a consequence, not just because of it. But I think if you compare it to the first half and Mateta, every time the ball went long from Dean Henderson, what happened? It kind of led to an opportunity. Kind of led to Crystal Palace bringing the ball up the pitch. First half, the opposite was Zirkzee. Second half, different. When the ball was going into Zirkzee, he was holding it. He was passing it off to a teammate. He was bringing United forward rather than the ball coming straight back and causing problems for us. The goal in itself was fantastic. Mate, that was one of the best finishes you'll see this season. And Zirkzee's had a rough season, by all accounts. He put in the graft in pre-season. He's kept his head down, but he's been behind Cunha and Abumo and Šeško in the pecking order. Cunha and Šeško are out now, and despite the fact that he played poorly against Everton, as everyone else did, he got the opportunity, and he took it in that second half against Everton. Well done to Zirkzee, because I think that goal sort of sparked United into life. I don't think that we were certainly better at the start of the second half, but it's after that goal went in, where United really turned the screw, and we actually controlled a second half of football. We haven't done that this season. I didn't really feel too threatened by Palace, if I'm being completely honest. There's been situations where United have had a 1-goal lead going into the ends of games. Early this season, I'd be crapping myself. I did crap myself when they got that free kick, but at least I didn't score from it. To finish this vid, I want to quickly have a conversation, just a little brief one, about Leny Yoro. You saw him on the sidelines after he was subbed. I think he felt a lot of responsibility for giving the penalty away. It was just a clumsy tackle. I've seen some United fans saying it wasn't a penalty. But man, if that was against United, you would definitely want that to be a penalty. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not pretend it wasn't a penalty. I think so anyway. But it was it was a mistake. It was good to see Mason Mount after the game. You see him down there sort of consoling him. And it's good to see Rio coming out and speaking in support of him as well. It's just a rough few games for Leny Yoro. I suppose in the same way, who was it? Was it Southampton last year? You know, when he got skinned, turned inside out. It was a bad one. And he came back from it. He'll learn from this. He'll develop from this. And it won't end him by any stretch of the imagination. But it's good to see his teammates coming around him. And the final point I want to make here, look, I think that first half really showed United's, all of the ugly side of United this season. If the second half showed an increased level of intensity, some quality finishes, some good set pieces, United controlling the end of a game, United not really being too stretched. And I'll tell you an interesting point about this. Kind of feels like Amorim didn't make subs yesterday because he's seen the impact that making subs has had to United controlling a game. It feels like that was kind of part of it yesterday. First half, awful. Second half, fantastic. Now, lads, can you just, put that together? Play like you did in the second half for the full 90 minutes? It shouldn't take playing a team that's played in Europe and needs a little bit of a rest to have that impetus. It shouldn't take a goal from Zirkzee to get that impetus. Now, I know goals in games change moods and probably always do give an extra 5-10%, even if it's subconscious. It's good to see United winning again. The first half was awful. The second half was fantastic. There's some good stuff to take from it, but a lot of, there's still so much to work on. And that's kind of what this Premier League season is. It's not even just Man United. It's mad how we're 4 points off second, but everybody is still sort of stumbling. Sometimes going forward, sometimes a step back. Beat West Ham, beat Wolves, lads. 3 in a row. Make it happen.